Hey everyone, and welcome back to Chat Like a Native, the show that helps you unlock those secrets to speaking English fluently and confidently. Now, you probably spent tons of time working on your grammar and vocabulary, but are you ready to unlock a whole new level of communication? Today, we're diving deep into vocal variety, because it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. Imagine being able to captivate your audience, effortlessly convey emotions, and make your English sound warm and welcoming, all by mastering your voice. Intrigued? Stick around. This is going to be fun.
It's fascinating, how much we actually communicate beyond just the words themselves. It's like music. Think about a song with no dynamics, just a flat melody. It wouldn't be very interesting, right?
Right.
But when you add those variations in pitch and tone and rhythm, it comes alive. It draws you in. The same thing happens with spoken English.
Okay, so I'm getting that using our voices in different ways can make it sound more interesting and help people understand us better. But for someone like me, who's already comfortable with basic English, why is this such a game changer?
Well, let's say you're at a job interview.
Okay.
You've got the qualifications. You've prepared your answers. But your voice is monotone and lacks expression. The interviewer might perceive you as unenthusiastic or even unsure of yourself, even if you're actually excited about the opportunity. On the other hand, if you use vocal variety to emphasize key points, convey your passion, and project confidence, you'll leave a much stronger impression.
Wow, I hadn't thought about it that way. It's like, even if you have the perfect words, if your delivery falls flat, the message loses its impact. So you're saying that mastering vocal variety is like having a secret weapon for clear and impactful communication.
Exactly. Think about a time you listened to a speaker who was really engaging. Chances are they were using a vocal variety without you even realizing it. It's what helps you sound natural, relatable, and keeps people hooked on your every word.
All right, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
But where do we even begin? What are the building blocks of this so-called vocal variety?
There are 4 key elements to focus on. First, we have pitch, which is how high or low your voice is. It's like the notes on a musical scale. You naturally go higher when you're excited and lower when you're serious or thoughtful.
So just like a singer hits different notes, we use pitch to add expression to our speech.
Exactly. And then there's tone. This is the emotional color of your voice. Think about how you'd say, "That's great news." Your voice would naturally sound upbeat and enthusiastic. But if you said, "I'm so disappointed," your tone would be lower and more subdued.
It's interesting because we do this instinctively in our native languages. But when speaking English, sometimes I get so focused on getting the grammar right that I forget to put feeling into it.
That's a really common experience for language learners. But the good news is that we can train ourselves to become more aware of these subtle nuances and use them intentionally.
Okay, so we've got pitch and tone. What are the other 2 elements?
Next up is pace, which is simply how quickly or slowly you speak.
Okay.
Think about it. If you're excited, you tend to speak faster. While if you're explaining something complex, you might slow down to give your listener time to process the information.
Right. I notice I definitely slow down when I'm trying to think of the right word or when I'm talking about something really important.
And that's a great strategy. Finally, we have volume. This is how loud or soft your voice is. Just like with the other elements, we naturally adjust our volume depending on the situation.
It's like if I'm sharing a secret, I'll probably whisper. But if I'm giving a presentation to a large group, I need to project my voice so everyone can hear me.
Exactly. And mastering the art of volume control can make a huge difference in how engaging you sound.
Okay, so now I understand the 4 elements of vocal variety: pitch, tone, pace, and volume. But I have to admit, thinking about controlling all of these things at once seems a bit overwhelming. Where do we even start?
Well, before we jump into specific techniques, it's important to warm up your voice, just like an athlete would before a big game.
So you mean like doing vocal exercises? What kind of things should we be doing?
One of my favorites is a simple lip trill. It's basically gently vibrating your lips like you're making a motorboat sound. This helps relax the muscles in your face and gets your breath flowing.
Okay, I can see how that would loosen things up. What else?
Another great one is humming. It helps you feel the vibrations in your throat and chest, warming up your vocal cords, and getting you ready to explore your full vocal range.
So we're essentially giving our voices a little workout before we start speaking.
You got it. And while we're at it, let's not forget about tongue twisters. They're not just for kids. They're fantastic for improving articulation and getting you comfortable with changing your speaking speed.
I'm starting to see how these exercises could really make a difference. It's like building a solid foundation for good vocal technique.
Exactly. And once you've warmed up your voice, we can move on to some techniques for practicing pitch and tone.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more.
One of the simplest ways to practice pitch and tone is by reading aloud.
Oh, okay.
Pick a paragraph from a book, a news article, or even a social media post, and experiment with emphasizing different words each time you read it.
Oh, that's interesting. I can see how just changing which word you stress could completely change the meaning of a sentence.
Exactly. For example, take the sentence, I went to the store.
Okay.
If you emphasize I, it becomes I went to the store, implying someone else didn't.
Right.
Emphasize store, and suddenly it becomes I went to the store, suggesting you didn't go somewhere else. It's a subtle shift, but it makes a world of difference.
That's a really cool exercise. I'm definitely going to try that. Do you have any other tips for practicing pitch and tone?
Absolutely. Recording yourself is another fantastic way to become aware of your own vocal patterns.
Okay.
Listen back and ask yourself, where does my voice sound flat? Do I sound bored, even if I'm talking about something I'm actually interested in? Then try re-recording the same passage with more variation in pitch and tone.
You know, I've always hated listening to recordings of myself, but I can see how it would be super helpful for this. It's like having an instant replay of your voice, so you can analyze your technique.
Exactly. And here's a fun exercise. Pick a simple sentence, like,
Okay.
how was your day? And try saying it in different ways. Happy, sad, angry, surprised. You name it.
Oh, I love that. It's like a mini acting class. I can imagine myself getting really dramatic with it
Mm-hmm.
and having a lot of fun. Do you have any tips for practicing pace and volume? Those feel a bit trickier to control.
They can be, but with a little practice, you'll be amazed at how much you can enhance your communication skills. One of the best things you can do is practice pausing.
Pausing, you mean like just being silent?
Yes, but it's not just about being quiet. It's about using those moments of silence strategically.
Okay.
Pause after an important point to let your listener absorb what you've said, or pause before you reveal something exciting to create a sense of anticipation.
I can see how pausing could add a lot of drama emphasis to your speech. It's like those pregnant pauses they use in movies to build suspense.
Exactly. And when it comes to volume, try reading a passage in a whisper, then at your normal speaking volume, and then a bit louder.
Okay.
Notice how changing the volume impacts the mood and meaning of your words.
So like whispering could create a sense of intimacy or secrecy, while speaking louder. Could convey excitement or urgency.
Precisely. And don't underestimate the power of role play. Find a language partner or a friend and practice emphasizing different words or phrases by changing your pace and volume. They can give you feedback on what sounds natural and what might need a bit of tweaking.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I can imagine it turning into a really fun game.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered some great techniques for warming up our voices,
Mm.
playing with pitch and tone, and adjusting our pace and volume. But how do we make sure it all sounds natural and not like we're putting on a performance?
That's a great question. The key is balance.
Okay.
You don't want to go overboard with extreme highs and lows in pitch or speak so slowly that people start falling asleep. The goal is to find a level of variation that feels natural and authentic to you.
So it's not about trying to sound like someone else. It's about finding your own unique voice
Yeah.
and using these techniques to enhance it.
Exactly. And one of the best ways to develop your own style
Yeah.
is to pay attention to how others use their voices. Watch movies and TV shows. Listen to podcasts and audiobooks. And notice how different speakers use vocal variety to create different effects.
I love that. It's like becoming a student of vocal expression. Are there any specific things we should be listening for?
Well, pay attention to how actors change their tone to convey different emotions.
Okay.
Sadness, anger, joy, etc. Notice how podcast hosts use their voices to engage their listeners, emphasize key points, and tell stories in a captivating way. But here's the important part. Don't just mimic what you hear.
Okay.
Try to understand why they're using certain techniques and how it impacts the way their message is received.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not about copying. It's about analyzing and understanding
Right.
and then figuring out how to apply those insights to your own voice.
Exactly. And remember, this is a journey, not a destination. There's always more to learn and explore when it comes to vocal variety. But the more you practice, the more confident and comfortable you'll become with using your voice as a powerful tool for communication.
This is all so inspiring. But before we move on, are there any resources or tools you recommend for learners who want to take their vocal practice to the next level?
Absolutely. There are some fantastic apps specifically designed to help you practice intonation and pronunciation. They often use visual aids and interactive exercises, which can make learning more fun and engaging.
Well, that sounds way more fun than just drilling pronunciation from a textbook. What else?
Well, if you're a visual learner, there are tons of videos and tutorials online that demonstrate different vocal techniques. Seeing someone else do the exercises can make it much easier to understand and apply the concepts.
That's a great tip. I love learning by watching others. Are there any other tools you recommend?
If you're serious about taking your vocal skills to the next level, you could even consider using voice analysis software. These programs can analyze your pitch, pace, and volume and give you detailed feedback on areas where you can improve.
Wow, that's incredible. It's like having your own personal vocal coach
Yeah.
right on your computer.
It is. But even without fancy software, there are simple things you can do every day to build your vocal variety muscles.
Okay.
For example, start your day with a few minutes of lip trills, humming, and tongue twisters.
Okay, I'm definitely adding that to my morning routine. It sounds way more fun than hitting the snooze button. What else can we do?
Try practicing in front of a mirror.
Oh,
It's a great way to become more aware of your facial expressions and how your mouth moves with different tones and pitches.
that's a great idea. I can imagine myself making all sorts of funny faces as I experiment with different sounds.
It can be quite entertaining. And here's another fun one. Choose a piece of text
Okay.
and mark where you want to change your pitch or slow down your pace. Then read it out loud, focusing on those cues.
I love that. It's like turning a regular reading exercise into a vocal workout. I'm a big fan of storytelling. So do you have any tips for using vocal variety to make stories more captivating?
Storytelling is a fantastic way to practice vocal variety. One of the best things you can do is record yourself telling a story and then listen back.
Okay.
Ask yourself, does my voice sound engaging? Are there places where I sound monotone? Could I add more emphasis or emotion to certain parts?
That's a great idea. I'm going to try that tonight with my kids. Bet they'll have some hilarious feedback on my storytelling skills.
I'm sure they will. And remember, one of the best ways to improve is to get feedback from others.
Right.
If you can share your recordings with a friend or teacher and ask for specific feedback on your tone, pitch, and overall delivery, it can really help you pinpoint areas where you can grow.
Feedback is so valuable. It's like having a coach in your corner, cheering you on and helping you reach your full potential. But I know that even with all these tips and tricks, some people still struggle with certain aspects of vocal variety. Are there any common challenges that you see learners facing? And do you have any advice for overcoming them?
One of the most common challenges is monotony.
Okay.
If you find yourself speaking in a monotone, pause and take a deep breath. Remind yourself to emphasize key words by varying your pitch and injecting a little more energy into your voice.
That's a great reminder. Sometimes we just need to slow down
Yeah.
and be more mindful of how we're using our voices.
Exactly. And another common challenge is nervousness.
Oh, yeah.
Feeling anxious can lead to a stiff or forced voice. If you find yourself getting nervous, try some relaxation techniques like deep breathing or visualization.
Those are great tips.
Yep.
And it's important to remember that it's okay to make mistakes as we learn. We don't have to be perfect to be effective communicators.
Absolutely. Learning a language is a journey, and it's all about progress, not perfection.
Speaking of progress, I know some people get so excited about adding vocal variety that they end up overdoing it. Have you ever seen that happen?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes, in an effort to sound more dynamic, learners might overcompensate and
Right.
end up sounding theatrical or unnatural. Remember, the goal is to enhance your natural voice, not to create a whole new persona.
So how do you find that sweet spot between being expressive and sounding over the top?
It's all about subtlety. Aim for gradual changes in pitch, tone, and pace, rather than dramatic shifts.
So,
And listen to yourself carefully. If it sounds forced or unnatural, dial it back a bit.
that's really helpful advice. It's all about finding a balance that feels authentic and comfortable for you.
Exactly. And remember, practice, patience, and persistence are your best friends on this journey. With time, your natural voice will shine through, sounding friendly and genuine, never forced.
I have to say, I'm feeling really inspired after this conversation. It's amazing how much we can transform our communication, by focusing on something as simple as our voice.
I agree. It's one of those things that can make a huge difference without requiring a ton of effort.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive into vocal variety, what are some key takeaways you want our listeners to remember?
Well, first and foremost, remember that your voice is a powerful tool. Don't be afraid to experiment with it. play with different techniques and see what feels natural and authentic for you.
I love that. Embrace your own unique voice and let it shine.
Absolutely. And don't get discouraged if it takes time to see results. Mastering vocal variety is a journey, not a destination.
That's so true. It's all about progress, not perfection.
Exactly. And one of the best ways to make progress is by listening to others.
Okay.
Pay attention to how people use their voices in different situations, what works well, what doesn't, and try to incorporate what you like into your own style.
It's like having a whole team of vocal coaches all around us,
Yeah.
just waiting to be studied.
I love that analogy. And don't be shy about asking for feedback from native speakers or language teachers. They can offer valuable insights and help you identify areas where you can improve.
Feedback is such a gift. It can really help us see things from a different perspective.
And finally, remember to have fun with it.
Right.
Learning a language should be enjoyable, and experimenting with your voice is a great way to add some playfulness to the process.
I couldn't agree more. To all our listeners out there who are ready to take their English communication skills to the next level, remember, warm up your voice. Practice with purpose. Listen and learn from others. Stay relaxed and natural. And most importantly, have fun.
Well said. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one inspiring others with your dynamic and engaging voice.
That's a wonderful thought. So until next time, keep chatting, keep practicing, and keep those voices strong. This is Chat Like a Native signing off.